We have been following breaking news this afternoon and about face on congestion pricing. In the last 20 minutes, we received a statement from the U.S. Department of Transportation that says the Federal Highway Administration has pulled its approval of the tolling plan. Of course, the plan to charge drivers $9 to travel below 60th Street has been in place since early January.
This is a hotly debated issue. We've been gathering reaction to this decision. Joining us now live, Nassau County Executive Blakeman. And Mr. Blakeman, you have been a very vocal critic of the plan. What's your reaction to today?
Well, I'm very grateful that President Trump and Secretary Duffy terminated this oppressive tax on the hardworking families of the metropolitan area, including Nassau County. I'd like to note for the record that Nassau County's commissioner to the MTA was the only commissioner that voted against congestion pricing. David Mack knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. And now President Trump and Secretary Duffy have taken a very, very important act to, again, rid ourselves of this oppressive tax on hardworking people, students, people who use Lower Manhattan to go to work, to study. It was a bad idea to start.
And do you anticipate, as do many people, this is likely going to end up in the courts? There are folks still questioning whether or not the president actually has legal standing to dissolve this plan.
Well, I think that the federal government, President Trump, Secretary Duffy, have the power of the purse string. And New York State and the metropolitan area rely on federal funds very much for their transportation system. So I think they would be wise to first look at cutting expenses at the MTA. It's a bloated organization. There's a lot of fraud and waste and corruption there. And they need to rid the MTA of that. And I think that basically once they do that, I think that basically they will have a situation where we can have a transportation system that's safe, that's clean, and that works for the people of the metropolitan area, including Nassau County.
Now, this program just started in January after hot debate. And in the early numbers that was coming back, Governor Hochul was actually touting the plan, saying it was doing what it was supposed to do, reducing congestion pricing and bringing in funding. I'm curious to know what kind of an impact, if you have numbers, that it have on Nassau County.
Well, I don't have the numbers yet because, as you stated, it just was implemented in January, so we don't have our figures yet. But I don't know about congestion, but I do know this much, that people are avoiding going to Lower Manhattan. It's going to be bad for the businesses in Lower Manhattan. I know people from Nassau County are not going to visit that part of Manhattan, and that's a shame because we take a regional approach to everything. And New York City is very important to the well-being of Long Island, and Long Island is very important to the well-being of New York City. And making it more expensive for people to travel, I think, is a bad idea. It's a tax, and it's a very oppressive tax.
Is there any tolling plan that you could see yourself supporting that would make sense to you in order for the MTA to do what it says it needs to do with that extra money?
I think the MTA needs to cut expenses. I think that we need to make sure that our subways, our buses, all of our transportation systems are safe. We want to get people back. People aren't comfortable with public transportation because of the unsafe environment in New York City, with all the illegal migrants, cashless bail, raise the age, and all of the laws in New York State that make people feel less safe. So the prosecution of Daniel Penny was a big mistake. So people want to be safe when they travel on public transportation. Focus on cutting costs, and they should not focus on increasing fares and taxes on hardworking people.
We have to jump in. We want to thank you so much. We're run out of time on the newscast, but thank you again, Bruce Blakeman. Reaction to congestion pricing, being pulled the plug on it right now.
We'll be following this story throughout the day on air and online.